Around the World theme this week, we chose England to honor the Queen's passing. We had high tea for snack. Dinner was shepherd's pie with fish and chips. And Yorkshire pudding for dessert.
And Yorkshire pudding for dessert.
Bon appetit!
How's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, so Dougherty dozen time. I'm so sorry. Yeah, we got some more to say because, right, as soon as I see something about ALICIA, as soon as I see something about the Dougherty dozen, and then something else then happens, I'm like, I need to tell people who watch me will be interested in this stupidly ridiculous, non-interesting topic. Like, you just will be. And I know you will be, because I am. And I find this kind of thing just absolutely riveting. What happened was, do you remember we were going on about tacos? In particular, I want to get this exact brand right. Real Good Foods. Do you remember? It was in her vlog. Was it her vlog? Oh, this is a few videos back, so you're going to have to just remain with me.
Yes,
Maybe.
Ew, how? Why haven't you been eating this stuff in here?
What do you mean?
Like
the tacos?
Yeah.
Well, I just bought more.
No, all of this stuff.
All this deliciousness. Probably eat this stuff. Maybe I'll make it like Sunday. No. Open. Too long.
But a few videos back, there was something to do with real food, and she had all these different tacos, and she said extremely explicitly.
What do you mean?
Like
the tacos?
Yeah.
Well, I just bought more.
Originally, I was thinking, well, maybe she Amazoned it and it was just like in bulk. Maybe she Costco'd it. I don't know. I'm just trying to think outside the box, literally outside the box, where she had boxes stacked full of all these different things. And what I did notice is that she had a lot of Real Good Foods, the tacos. She had other stuff as well, but she wasn't really showing it as much. But she was talking about these tacos, saying that she actually went out and bought them. So what happened was she was then trying to stack it into her fridge, bearing in mind she'd just gone shopping. I think it was her freezer actually. There was no more room in the freezer. There was no more room in that inn. There was no room. She was not going to get no more stuff in there. Anyway, so what transpired, and I did think this was a bit strange. I was like, what? I was then told in my comment section saying, she's sponsored by this company. She's done sponsorships with them before. And I thought, oh, well, that's a bit strange. If she's being sponsored by them, and it looks like it's coming out of a box, you know, that has been sent to her. Because if we go back and actually watch that clip, it looks like she is. But she said she went out and bought them. Was that true? I don't know. I then got sent a email. I'm doing this all in order. I got sent an email from this person, and I'm not going to be revealing names, who does, I swear on my life, I get all these emails just, and they are completely verified, by the way. Like, I'll go on their channel, like, it's a full-on, it's a channel, it's a homemaking channel, you know what I mean? I'll go on their stuff, it will actually be like, oh, they did actually do this ad. So I was sent this email, or this Insta message saying, hi Amy, so I saw your other video about Real Good Foods. I also am partners with Real Good Foods, and every month they have a campaign and they send you a huge box of different kinds of meals and ice cream, and they also send coupons for free products. So you don't have to go buy the meals because they send them to you every single month, and they do send you a lot. So you really don't need to ever buy in a grocery store. It's almost like overkill. Like, our family can't even eat them as fast as they send them. So there's a little bit of tidbit for you, which, by the way, thank you so much. Well, you know, I've already said thank you. But proving my point even further. Now, this goes one step further than that. So now we've already got some sort of proof. She did not go and buy these Real Good Food things, even though she said in the clip that she went and bought them. And I thought it was a bit suspicious to begin with. Now, incoming, about an hour or two after I got sent this message, I then saw ALICIA's, she did an Insta reel where she was basically like showcasing it, saying, hey, yeah, you can get this in Walmart. And she showed all of the products that we saw her putting away. Maybe not all of them, but quite a lot of them. I remember seeing in that shot of her putting them into the freezer. And I'm just like, does this matter? No, of course it doesn't. But I've also found it really interesting how she said Walmart, like, once again.
For my 12 kids at Walmart with Real Good Foods. They've just launched their new General Tso's and orange chicken entrees, which are made with white meat chicken breast that's breaded only in chickpea flour and egg. Cook and add their made-from-scratch sauces from erythritol and monk fruit. I I love having a delicious and nutritious go-to option in my freezer for busy nights. Bon appetit!
Because when I last discussed the Walmart thing, she basically denounced Wegmans. I know you guys are sick and tired of me talking about this, but to break it down, the reason why this is even vaguely important is because ALICIA denounced Wegmans and made loads of people say, I'm going to boycott Wegmans for no reason. She then went to Walmart for quite literally one shopping trip. And I was then sent another message. I was sent a message prior to this message basically saying, yeah, Danos Seasoning tell you to go into Walmart and show where you get the product. So ALICIA basically went to Walmart just to get this Danos Seasoning, but didn't really want to tell people. I've got no idea why. And it kind of feels like she's doing the same thing with this Real Good Foods brand. Like, she said that she bought it, but actually she didn't buy it. But maybe if she just said that at the very beginning when she was putting away all the stuff, because the only reason why it was even vaguely an attractive talking point was because she couldn't fit any more stuff into her freezer, yet she was accepting more things. So if you think about it, like, think of all that stuff that they get sent that they just don't use. It must be mind-boggling. They must get sent so much stuff and they just don't know what to do with it. But I did just think it's, you know what, if you're being sponsored by anyone, just honesty is the best policy with stuff like this. So it doesn't even matter, like, if you need to go into Walmart to pick up some seasonings, just add it into a day in the life. You don't need to, like, denounce a whole supermarket to then go grocery shopping for one time. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like in her latest haul, she might have gone back to Walmart. I don't really know. I don't understand it. Do I really care? No. But I just think that influencers need to be a hell of a lot more clear and honest, especially if you're a lifestyle influencer, because you're making your whole lifestyle into an ad. You can advertise on the cooking and the cleaning and all of it.
Chose England to honor the Queen's passing. We had high tea for snack. Dinner was shepherd's pie with fish and chips. And Yorkshire pudding for dessert. Bon appetit!
I feel like I don't even need to explain how this is not Yorkshire pudding. They were doing like a round the world Wednesday or whatever they do, and this was supposed to be Yorkshire pudding. It looks a bit like shepherd's or cottage pie. What is the brown bit at the bottom? You know what? Someone said in the comments it reminds them of Rachel's trifle for Friends, and that is 100% what it is. Google, if you don't know what Yorkshire puddings are, just Google it. But they also said they had this for dessert. And I'm like, that is an insult. That is an insult, because Yorkshire puddings are like separate things. They're made, you basically make batter and then they rise in the oven and you have it with like roast dinner, like gravy and all of that kind of stuff. Maybe that's gravy in the bottom, but that looks a bit like mashed potato on the top. I'm so confused. Anyway, at least she tried.
Next thing we're going to get into is her latest video, which, if you watched my last video where I was talking about her vlogs, I have a stance on it where this may sound absolutely ridiculous and I'm sure nobody will believe me, but I actually felt quite bad for her. I feel like ALICIA, as much as I like to ha-ha and hee-hee about some of the stuff they do, I have always said this, I think she works her ass off, and I think in these latest vlogs it becomes really apparent that she is doing everything, like absolutely everything. I think that, you know, maybe I'm going against the grain here, and I think that their house just looks like a I've got 12 kids and I'm trying to get them all out of the door. She does it pretty much on her own. Like, her husband goes off to work, like, I mean, she does. It doesn't, like, can we just forget for a minute? I mean, I don't think she's always gotten up at 5, whatever, we've gone past this, but doesn't, like, people who come into my comment sections are right. Like, you are 100% right. Like, you may actually hate me saying this, but people who come in here and they're like, well, it doesn't matter what time she gets up because she's still getting up and da-da-da. And my response to that has always been, I don't like people lying to me, which is true. But also, yeah, like, of course she does. She does quite literally everything. It makes me sad to see, because she is like a workhorse, like an absolute workhorse at home. and her kids don't really seem to pick up or do anything to like help her. I mean, whatever they might do. This is just from what I see from the past couple vlogs. This isn't me paying close attention to every single thing she says. Like I say, I'd have no life, but that woman works so ridiculously hard, and it just felt like she wasn't stopping to eat. She wasn't, I mean, this is what she's shown us, you know, she's chugging on through the day with half a wrap and some coffee, and I'm just like, she put so much time and effort into making sure that her kids are like fed and all of this. Yeah, she's got a hell of a lot of other faults. That's not what I'm coming from. I'm coming at it from like a human perspective. Like, this is like me actually seeing someone. Doesn't matter if I agree with their content all the time or not. If I can see that someone is really struggling and trying to say, I mean, she looks like she works extremely hard, and I just don't understand how she manages to do all that without crashing and burning. And it doesn't look like she does have a lot of help, and it did make me quite sad. I've definitely felt like I've been in situations where I didn't feel like very appreciated, and I didn't feel like I was getting enough help, and I felt like I was really on my own. So at some points in that vlog, I was watching her, and it brings you back to that time. It made me feel really sad. You know, I think she does need a hell of a lot more help than she does have. That's just my own personal opinion. We're gonna get over the sadness and the dramatics and just move on past it, but that's just what I think. Her comment section's quite divided. I will say that we have finally got an ALICIA medication haul.
Recharged. I need to take my vitamins. I have been really bad about taking my vitamins lately. I just take a multivitamin. Yes, it's prenatal. No, I'm not pregnant.
Yeah, ALICIA's finally sharing us what multivitamins she takes. Like, I'm actually quite happy, because we've been knowing for such a long time exactly what our kids take, but now we know what ALICIA takes. And you know what, it did bring a little smile to my face, because now I feel like we know a little bit better. But no, it's in all seriousness though, like how long has it been? Finally, I know what kind of multivitamin ALICIA takes in the morning. I'll read a few of the comments, because you guys know my perspective, like, on whatever. Like, it's a messy house, but that's because I think there's too many people in that house, and the kids don't really tidy up and stuff. But you should see my house in the morning. It's a freaking pigsty. So I'm gonna read them from like different aspects. We asked for day in the life videos, and then everyone complains about them. This is her life, how she spent this day. Y'all are ridiculous trying to shame a mum for cleaning up her home. She even said this was a rough morning for the kids getting ready. She just started being home alone without any kids or her husband, and cleaning may be her peace of mind, like she is to many of us. This just proves you can't make everyone happy. Yeah, it is true. Although I do think that the only one that wasn't around was the youngest, wasn't she? And she's just started pre-K. So, I mean, ALICIA could be about whatever, but I'm pretty sure her husband has always gone off and gone to work. And there's my kids just rummaging around. But it's true, like, it's very split. I think ever since ALICIA has started showing us more how life is sort of, you know, behind the curtain or behind the scene or whatever, I think there's a lot of mixed messages. But I think everyone just needs to like take one step back and go, she's got 12 of them. 12. You should see my house, and I got 2. I'm trying to stop her from jumping too close into the shot, but she always does. I love you guys, but those kids need more chores. It actually makes them feel a part of a team. I don't mess around with stuff left on the floor. You get a warning and then it's going in a donate trash bag. Plus, they need the real life experience. Don't teach your boys a woman will clean their messes all their lives. Yeah, I think this is such a massive, important thing. Like, teaching, I mean, I don't have any boys, I've got 2 little girls, but I think that is such an interesting point. That's actually such an interesting point to even talk about. If you guys get to this far in the comment section, I'd love to like hear your thoughts and opinions on this. But I do think that, especially if you have boys, I only get this just because I know some of, in fact, pretty much most of my other friends who have had kids have boys actually. One's got a boy and girl, but they all started off with boys. Anyway, the mum isn't the sort of role model in the fact that she'll always clean up and cook, and obviously cook, but like clean up after you and not teach you how to look after things. You'll then grow up into a boy adult, like a man, expecting your wife to do the same things. And I've definitely met a few men where that is extremely applicable. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, did your mum ever teach you how to tidy up? I don't know. You're a great mum, but you work way too hard. Those children need to clean up their mess. You are not a maid. And yeah, I agree. I think she works extremely hard, and I think it was quite sad just watching her. She might really enjoy it. She might be one of those people. She probably does really enjoy it, but it's still sad to see. But maybe it's just sad to see because I wouldn't want to do that, so I don't know. It's so refreshing to see a normal house, seriously. I'm so tired of Instagram and every other influencer's perfectly clean home with kids. This makes me feel less crazy that my house is always destroyed within minutes. This is true. I think people can't always wrap their head around the fact that they have got like so many kids, so the mess is even more. I do think that they should move to a bigger house, and it's not because, oh, they should just learn to like organise their stuff better. That's not it at all. I do genuinely, just from what she's shown us, think that they could do with a bigger house, because there's like 12 of them. Like, how many families do you know have 12 people living inside of them? Like, just think of it, 14 actually, not even 12. Like, think about that for a minute. Like, 14 people in one house is a hell of a lot of people, and it didn't look like a massive house. Although Auntie Lauren, for the love of God, because I was in fact scrolling these comments, and I cut off her icon for one of them, and I'm really annoyed because I do that anyway when I'm like reading a comment. Bye. I'll do that. I'll like cut off their name. How Alicia and Josh choose to raise their kids is not our business. If they choose to clean up after them and make their beds, not our business. Keep being you, Alicia. And then I can't remember which one came first, the chicken or the egg, but I then found another comment that she posted being like, not gonna lie, we weren't allowed to go to the football or anywhere other than school if our rooms were messy. It's like, contradict yourself in about 5 minutes there. You say no one should judge, and then there you are being like, well, actually, my parents wouldn't let me do that. Do you know what I mean? So, oh my gosh, we talk about the bacon. There was so much bacon there. There was just so much bacon.
Like, kids grab cereal for breakfast and buy lunch at school day. But Josh felt like making 5 pounds of bacon today and a bunch of eggs. And we're gonna clean up the pieces left behind.
And the amount of bacon on that plate, I really want some bacon right now because that did look pretty good, but it's just a waste. It's just a waste, that amount of bacon. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.